Welcome once again to Kingdom Business Network, KBN. This is your show where we discuss matters business, and we're so much glad to be coming to you live and direct from Faith Today Television. Today we want to continue the discussion on digital marketing. We want to talk about monetizing your channel. We also want to talk about freelancing, and you shouldn't miss this freelancing. And we have able guests today who are going to take us through that. This is a channel whereby we've added a lot of value to a lot of our viewers, and we would also want you to take this opportunity to partner with us. And there are many ways in which you can partner with us. You can pray with us, you can like, share, subscribe, especially on our YouTube channel, and most importantly, you can actually support us financially so that we can be able to get this message across. In case you are considering supporting us financially, the numbers are on the screen. You can get in touch with us, and we'll be so much glad that you have partnered with us. This message needs to reach across, especially to those people who really need a lot of help in the area of faith and also even in the area of business. You have a lot of your friends out there who needs to hear one or two things that will change the way they do business or approach matters finances. And with that, if you support us, we'll be able to reach many more people and make a positive contribution to our community. To continue the topic that we started some weeks ago is my guest today, Lewis Ndege. You can introduce yourself to the viewer once again.
Wow, thank you so much, Doctor, for having me back. And to our viewers at Faith Today TV and KBN show, welcome back. I mean, I'm so glad that I'm back here so that we may continue to demystify this particular conversation we began a while back about digital marketing. And for a while now, we have been talking about the opportunities for business people. But the good thing about the scope, the digital marketing scope, is that it has opportunities even for you who is not already in business. And today, this conversation might help you big time. Welcome aboard.
I'm sure it's going to help somebody, especially when you talk about freelancing.
Yes.
What's a freelancer? Before I go to my other guest.
Thank you so much for that question, because it comes a lot on my end. And I'm an avid supporter of the freelancing industry. Yes. Because freelance is not, people have a stereotype around freelancing. Mm-hmm. People think that freelancing is failing to have a form of employment. Mm-hmm. But today we are saying that freelancing is a profession just like any other. Yes. So freelancing is whereby maybe you are a profession in this area, you are a finance person, you are a plumber, you are anything. Mm. And you can be offering that particular service or skill that you have on project basis to different clients, to different companies. So freelancing endorses the idea of working with several individuals or companies on project basis or contract basis without particularly being employed on a full-time basis, which is actually enhancing now what we are calling employability in the 21st century.
And that's exactly what I was coming to. Yes. My viewer, you have heard that word, employability. Yes. Especially when you're able to be a freelance. Yes. And that's exactly what we are going to discuss today. Yes. You don't have to be out there wondering where will you get jobs. Today we want to equip you with skills on ways that you can actually freelance online and how you can make some money. And also to help us unpack that is our other guest today. Today I've seen you've come with the reinforcements. Yes. And it's Mr. Brian Ndome. Yes. You can introduce yourself to the viewer.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Francis. My name is Ndome Brian. And I'm so happy I'm coming here for the very first time accompanying the digital coach, Lewis Ndege, as one who has benefited from the digital revolution and the freelancing and the content creation scope. And as one also who is in the training industry in terms of equipping our young people, especially with the skills in the digital revolution. And I'm so happy, especially to be in this conversation at a transitioning time when the labor roles and how people are working and employability, we are in a times of transition from full-time, from hours worked to project-based, and in terms of value. And that is the conversation we are championing at this point. And so I'm so happy because I know the wise and them that to strategically position themselves at such a time will maximally benefit from this conversation.
Strategically position themselves.
Yes.
And with that, we continue the question I had asked about who is a freelancer.
Yes.
What does it actually mean? And what roles are currently available and in high demand today?
Yes.
And any one of you can go, or both.
I think I'll go first. And when we talk of the freelance landscape, one, there is no particular job that is called freelancing. You have to have a niche or a skill that you promote. So you, maybe you have gone to college or campus and you've acquired your degree or diploma in a certain area. Let's use accounting for the purposes of this discussion. So you are a professional accountant. You may choose, because the current generation is promoting what we call a work-life balance. So you may choose not to be employed maybe on an 8 to 5 job. So what you do is you present yourself as a freelance accountant. So you can be consulting with different companies or different individuals. So what you just need to do is you create what we call a portfolio. Today, employers are no longer looking for certificates. People want what we call proof of work. What have you been able to do before? So when we are talking about freelancing, we are endorsing a culture of developing what we are calling a portfolio of evidence. So time to time, you are keeping updating that portfolio of yours, showing what you've been able to achieve day to day. And once you have that particular portfolio, is the one that you'll be using to market yourself and strategically position, as Brian said, yourself as an expert in that area. So when companies or individuals are coming to you, they are not coming to you so that they can employ you. They are coming to you so that you can engage in terms of contracts and projects. So we have, you can be a freelancer in different dimensions. And I know my brother Brian will give us in a nutshell, maybe a list of such opportunities.
Okay. So you are creating a portfolio of evidence.
A portfolio of evidence.
I like that. Hey, Brian, what is your thought on this?
I mean, I will pick it from where Lewis Ndege has left it. And I would first say that this freelancing is a location-independent scope. And we don't want to champion few skills and then after 3-4 years, there will be flooded markets. There was a time when I was doing BCom. I've done a BCom finance. So there was a time when I've been told BCom finance has been flooded. But it's because at some point it was championed so much. So the freelancing scope, we want it to be any service you're offering can be a freelance from any industry. It doesn't matter. So it will be dependent on your strength, on your passions, and on your values. Because you have something that's so unique about you that I don't have. There is a skill that you know that I don't know. There is something so unique about you, a passion, a value, or a strength. And we can build the freelancing skill in all these sectors. A skill you've learned, something you're so passionate about, or a value that you stand for. All these can form a basis for a freelancing service. Yes.
There's something you said about courses being flooded.
Yes.
You might be, I don't know when you are doing a BCom, but it might be you did it 10 years after me or 20 years. When I was still at the University of Nairobi, at our time in the late 90s, in the late 80s.
Late 80s.
Late 80s. If not, those days, maybe you were not born. Some of those courses were still flooded.
Yes.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So it's actually, I always tell people that there's no, unless you're talking about 30 years ago in Kenya, the last 20 years, almost every other thing has been flooded.
Yes.
And it continues to be.
Yes.
But we need to have a way of getting out of that flooded market by standing out.
Okay.
And I always advocate standing out. Because whatever you try to do today, even if you want to start a kiosk or selling nyama or whatever, where there's a degree, you'll just find it's flooded. True. Even somebody said, if you buy a car and you think you're the only one with that car, the next thing is that you realize after you buy that car, every other car looks like the one you bought, you know, they become more familiar.
Yes.
So now, I'm still on this demand and what is in demand currently.
Yes.
What is it for now that you can easily stand out? Is there anything that...
Yes, they are.
I know it might not be relevant 5 years from today, but what are the few things that...
Actually, we are privileged to be in a transitioning period when we are in a time we're calling Industry 4.0. That is talking about integration of technologies with our day-to-day activities. So the skills that are in the market, in demand skills right now, is anything digital. Because we are in a technological world, in a digital revolution time. And we're just transitioning to it. So we are standing at the gate of entrance. So the people that will join this conversation at this point will get an advantage we call the first movers advantage. The people that joined the industry at first. So these are skills revolving around anything digital. So we will talk of website creation, we'll talk of social media management and marketing, we'll talk of content creation. And now something that digital coach talked about, that we can build a freelance service around any area. Now, in content creation, you can build content on plumbing, you can build content on cooking, you can build content on that. So the scope of content creation makes any skill in demand right now, especially in creating videos and all those. The other one is video editing and graphics design. These are areas you can leverage on, and you build a big portfolio around there, and it will be marketable for you.
And yes. Now also AI.
AI now,
it is now opening up all tools that you can actually use to simplify work
across all industries. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So for someone getting started, what are the most important first steps to land clients?
Yes.
And start building credibility?
The number one thing, especially I love what you've said, credibility.
Yes.
Because most people are everywhere, and that is where we are missing the point. Because if you want to thrive, either in content creation or now freelancing as a scope, you need to have at least one area that you are focusing on. That is what we call, you identify your niche. So if I have identified I'm good at speaking, I want to champion that. That is what I want to promote. I want to be a freelance public speaker. So if it's this particular school that want their students talked to on this particular topic, I can't be viable for that. So what I need to do is to present that to my audience. And the number one thing that you have to do is you don't have, remember we talked of portfolio of evidence. You may not have been in spaces that have allowed you to expose that side of yourself. So what do? Start by something my generation is not appreciating, but it is the most important. Volunteer. Volunteer. Because if people see me address this particular institution, they don't know whether I was paid or not. So if I volunteer to be in talking to Mangu students, and I create a reel or a video of me addressing Mangu students, what will happen when other principals see that particular video? They will think this person, if Mangu High School has allowed this particular person to be talking to their students, then he must be someone valuable. So why should we not give him a chance? So volunteering gives you exposure and gives you an opportunity to now start creating your portfolio of evidence. So you have something you can actually prove that I've been doing this, because people are no longer interested in the certificate. You see? So once now you have identified your niche and you have created or looked for opportunities that will help you to expose that particular skill or service that you're offering, people will now start coming to your side or looking for you. And there is also the place of you marketing yourself. So once now you have been able to get to that particular point, there is also the part of developing that particular scope or skill. During our last conversation, we are talking of continuous learning. One of the many things that inhibit people from beginning, it's thinking they are not good enough. So you think that some things are for the experts, but forgetting that the experts begin somewhere. So like we said during our last conversation, start basic. Those small skills that you think you have and you think are not enough, start with those ones. And now you realize now once you're already there and you embrace the culture of continuous learning, you'll keep on now building yourself, and in no time you now be the expert people are emulating to be like. Yeah, so I think to begin with, identify your area, develop your portfolio of evidence, and start branding yourself, and now start honing those skills. Yes.
Talking about personal branding, how can that help a freelancer stand out?
Yes.
And what are some simple ways to establish that online?
That is a wonderful question, because you realize that as a freelancer, you actually depend on getting clients. You see, one of the challenges of freelancing is that it is highly faced by insecurity issues, because today you might have a client, tomorrow you may not have. So you and a business are the same thing. That is why the conversation today is the business of digital marketing.
Yes.
Because once you identify yourself as a freelancer, you operate as a business. You are the business. So the same way we brand a business should be the same way you brand yourself. The same way we market a business should be the same way you market yourself. The same way we have sales strategies for a business should be the same way you have the strategies for yourself. And also whatever we call the structures, the operational structures. So when we talk of branding, it is what will make people or attract eyeballs to your side. It is what will make people realize that you are there, because unlike a business, you are not physically located. So how will people know of your existence? How will people know that you have this particular skill and talent that you can offer to them? It is only at the place of personal branding. So it is not a conversation any freelancer can leave behind. Yes.
What are your thoughts, Brian, on that personal branding?
People employ people they remember. And in marketing, we say for someone to buy from you, especially in digital marketing, they must have seen your product 7 times. And in those 7 times, each time they should be pleased by your product.
Okay, 7 times.
7 times. It's a concept to use in marketing.
Okay.
So I must appear to this client 7 times, and in those 7 times, I must please them. That now makes it impossible for you to just be there and not brand yourself, because one, people will employ the people they remember. So if I don't have you in mind, you never come in my mind when I have something I want someone to do for me. And number 2, when I'm looking for someone to employ, they must win my trust. So I want to see you consistent in doing what I think I want done for me. So if I don't see that in you, I will not employ you. That makes it very paramount for everyone to build a personal brand. Yes.
Wonderful. Let's come back to freelance work.
Yes.
So what platforms are most useful in finding this work? Or where do you find freelance work?
Wow, that is a good question. First, because we have platforms, whatever we call freelance platforms. But before we go to freelance platforms, I usually first endorse, because those platforms are businesses to other people.
Yeah.
A person have created a platform, so they want to make money from it. So once you subscribe, you are their first client. So before we engage in a conversation of you becoming another person's client, let's engage in a conversation of you establishing yourself as a business. So freelance, there is 2 ways to it. You can depend on the freelance platforms, or you can present yourself as the business. And once you do that, now we will borrow from the conversation we have been having for the past few weeks about digital marketing. Once you're establishing yourself as a business now, from creating profiles on all your social media platforms, from consistently marketing yourself, and whatever we call strategies, building your own branding and marketing strategies, and all that. But if that is, because that one is a journey, and you have to trust the process. The good thing now with the freelance platforms is that clients already know that if I want to get a freelancer, I just need to go to this platform. So it is bringing together now the clients you are looking for individually. And now freelancers. The bad thing about the platform, you are not the only freelancer there. So the same way we are saying that about flooding.
Saturation.
The saturation of skills. On platforms, that is now the biggest challenge. How will you stand? Because if a client posts a job, like I happen to be a benefit of the same, even to date, I use Upwork. I'm a blogger there and a content writer. And when we do that, you find when a client posts a job, the client will get over 50 proposals from you and 49 others.
49 others, yes.
So what makes you think that the client will choose you and leave the other 49?
Yeah. You must be very good.
You must be very good. Number two, you can work for 10 years. What if that platform comes down? Where will you be left? You have no direct clients because the platforms don't allow you to get direct contact with the client. So that's the platform will always be something you need. You see? So when we are championing the conversation of self-employment, personally, I don't first promote using the platforms because platforms are systems that have been established by other people.
By other people, yes.
So what if that platform comes down? Where will you be as a freelancer? That is to mean you start over again. Maybe on the platform you had 50 clients, but because you didn't have any direct contact with the clients, that is to mean you have lost all of them. So I usually endorse go the hard way. Establish yourself as a brand. Attract clients your way. Build a business around yourself. Have client retention strategies and incentives so that even 20 years later, you still have your clients. You are still building your business. This one will also promote, if you get so many clients, you'll be able even to hire other people. So you are also helping us curb the menace of unemployment among the young people of Kenya. Over 60% are not employed. So if you go the platform way, yet some of us have a very big opportunity to build something. So if you build the freelance as a business, what we call the freelance business, it will open for us opportunities to get other people on board, because maybe as an individual you can handle one client or one project at a time. But if you are doing something very good, clients will still come. You get referrals. So what if those projects are too many? That is to mean you'll not be in a position to handle them alone. So you'll need to outsource. Maybe you are a social media manager. Today, I'm just handling your social media platforms. That one is easy for me to handle alone. But I do something so good, you recommend me to your friends. By the end of the month, I am having 10 people that I have to create content for. I have to manage their socials. I have to do their paid advertisements. I have to push for their SEO. It is not practically possible for me to do that alone. You see, yes, I'm a freelancer, but now I'm also employing other people. So we have the platforms like Upwork. But we also have others like LinkedIn. LinkedIn allows you to build your profile and also gives you an opportunity to continuously advance your portfolio of evidence. So we can leverage on them as we also build our own freelance businesses.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I'll take one more question before we take a short break. And for the viewer who is watching us, remember to send the questions right now. Then we'll take a short break after this question. Now, what are the common challenges freelancers face?
One is pricing. How do you price yourself? It's a big challenge. And number two is building expertise in the area. Especially in the times when we're living in a generation that is easily giving up. So you realize, like something we began, we discussed when we were beginning, that we don't want to build over time. Freelancing has been introduced as a concept that if you learn today, tomorrow you begin making millions of money and hundreds of thousands. So one of the challenges freelancers are facing is the stereotype they are entering the market with, that if I begin a freelancing job today, by next year, I should be driving my V8 on the road. It's one of the biggest challenges. So when they come to the market and they realize a client is paying $1, $2, in a work that they would do in 3 hours, and they don't know, they've not got expertise in this area. So it becomes a limiting factor. Number 2 is pricing. How do I rate myself? How do I present myself, and how do I convince this client that I'm worth this amount of money? Is a big challenge for the freelancers in my day. It's still unresolved to them. And number 3 is it's still something growing. So you find there are not many people to identify with. So I'm a freelancer, but very few others I know that are freelancers. So we cannot identify with each other. So you feel there is a lack of the security of the other many who are doing this thing. So you lack the confidence to pursue it more, because there are no more people that are revolving around the same industry, and therefore you find it, someone is a freelancer, but they are still looking for another job, because they don't trust that what they are doing might be there next month, might be there next year. So they are doing it as they are looking for another formal job. So if they do it for 3 months and another formal job comes, they leave this freelancing job and they go to pursue the 8 to 5 job. Those are the challenges I'm seeing in the recent days. Yes.
Freelancing and side hustle.
Yes.
What's the difference?
It may not be so much of a big difference, but a side hustle may be a business. I actually overheard Esther Mushemia, you know her, saying that she doesn't believe in side hustles.
Okay.
Because any business, either the main one or the other business, is a business.
Yes.
So side hustle may be just another business that not necessarily on contract or project based, but freelancing, especially what we call digital freelancing, because we also have contemporary freelancing where you are a plumber, but you're always called by different people. Actually, most people operate as freelancers in those casual jobs. But digital freelancing, you realize that you need to package yourself properly. And number 2, you are working with different people. You are consulting or offering the services to different people. And also you are also in it not as a side thing, but as the main thing that you do.
So it's really not a side hustle.
It is really not a side hustle.
Because a side hustle implies that you have something else you are doing. But in your
though you can freelance on the side.
On the side.
You can freelance on the side.
Okay.
And actually, to add on the challenges Brian was talking about, there is a major challenge that freelancers, especially in Kenya, face. Freelancing is not regulated by the government. So you realize that all other bodies and organizations don't trust freelancers. You see, because you are not a freelancer, so you cannot give an invoice that if you are working with this company and they want withholding tax, Brian can talk about that better. But as a freelancer, you may not have the capacity to do that. Number 2, banks cannot give you a loan because you don't have any formal job. People don't perceive freelancing as a formal job. That is why when we talk to freelancers, we usually tell them, carry the mindset of a business person. Establish yourself as a freelancer, but it's your business. So register the business. Even if it doesn't have any physical location, have it registered. Open accounts for that business. So as you transact with your clients, make sure you are transacting through the business, not you as an individual. So that even if you may not get the advantage of getting such facilities from banks, like them that are employed, you can benefit as a business person.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So for the viewer, we are going to take a very short 2-minute break. And as we do that, remember to like, share, subscribe, especially if you're watching us on YouTube and on Facebook. Remember to do that. And also consider supporting this channel monetary-wise. And you help us take this message across to a lot of people. And as we come back, please also send the questions to Brian and Lewis. They are going to handle your questions. But remember, this is your show. It's about us trying to interact with you and becoming of value to you and your business, and also for those who are trying to get started in the area of trying to make an income. We want to support you big time. And also in the second part, we'll also touch a little bit on content monetization, whereby we want to turn your views into value. Thank you.
The world is going digital. Are you ready? At Certitude Digital Training Center, we equip young minds with real digital skills like content creation, digital marketing, graphics, web design, and many more, both in person and virtually. Whether you are a student, hustler, or a dreamer, it is your time to rise. Certitude Digital Training Center, where digital champions are made. Visit www.certitudedigital.org or call us on 011-2222-999. We are located at Wetavia, Juja, 2 kilometers opposite Mangu High School.
Faith Today TV is here to make your brand outstanding. Worry not on where to advertise your business or your product. Call us on 0114 777 000 or email us on info@faithtodaytv.co.ke.
Hello there, my name is Enoch. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV.
Welcome once again to the second part of this program, Kingdom Business Network, KBN, and we've been discussing with the Lewis and Bryans on the issue of monetization, and also we want to discuss about turning views into value for the second part. What comes into mind when I talk about turning views into value?
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah.
When we get to this conversation of content creation, it's a journey we may want to demystify in a few steps. One, there is also another stereotype around content creation. People think that content creation is all about entertainment, but we do content for so many reasons. One, it is to inform. So maybe you are doing this particular business and you want people to know something about what you do. So you can create content to inform. Number two, it is to educate. So you can do content, or you can create content for the purposes of educating people. Maybe you are thought leader in this particular area, like myself in the digital world. So there are so many content, there's so much content that are created for purposes of just educating my followers. Number three is now entertainment. You see, I ranked entertainment the third. And number four is promotion. So sometimes you may be doing content for purposes of promotion. Maybe you have a new product, like we are introducing something new at Certitude, and we want it to get to the eyeballs of our target audience. So we make content for purposes of promotion. And in the process of doing all that content, there is something that you gain called followers, subscribers, and people you directly influence. And besides creating content for purposes of educating, informing, entertaining, and also promoting, you realize that you can also take advantage of those people that you have a command unto. And that is where we bring on board the conversation of monetization. Like we have so many people who earn on YouTube and all other social media platforms by being paid directly by those platforms. And when we bring on board that conversation, you realize that most people who earn the most on those platforms never started doing what they do on those platforms to earn money from the platforms. Okay. You see? And mostly when that is the objective that you have, it mostly don't work. When you are doing content on YouTube, looking forward to get so many followers so that you can earn from YouTube. Mostly that doesn't come. I think it's you were saying that when you chase money, money also runs away. Yeah. So when you do content with the intentions of getting money from it, sometimes it don't work. So I usually promote the idea of limit your intentions to the 4 objectives that we say. Maybe do content to inform, do content to entertain, do content to educate, and also to promote your products or services. And once you do that, you realize that even myself, I have followers, but I never do what I do so that I can earn from the platforms that I use. Recently, Facebook gave me a notification that I have qualified to monetize my content
on Facebook. And you need to talk about that because not a lot of people know you can monetize Facebook.
Even me, I never thought it was possible until they reached out to me and told me. They gave me two ways that I can earn from Facebook. One is partnership ads. So if you want to promote your product, you can partner with me and I'll be paid by Facebook. So maybe you think that my audience could be your target audience. And you are creating this paid advertisement on Meta. If you partner with me, that ad will also appear like it's also coming from my page. And now Meta will pay me. So as you pay to promote your product, now that I am also adding value to that particular advertisement, Meta is also paying me. Number 2 is content. Anything that I post on Facebook, I earn something from it.
Wonderful.
Anything. So if I just wake up and just post a photo, the bad thing is I don't have so many followers, so the amount is little. But I was thinking if I was the kind of person with the many followers and likes and all those things, I would be earning a lot from Meta. So that is to mean it is actually possible. And one of the things I realized that they use to decide whether a person is eligible or not, it's learning from the academy. Like you realize that Facebook will have so many recommendations for you. Maybe do this, they have a weekly challenge for you. If you are that kind of person who strives to always complete their weekly challenge, they also have education, or whatever, they educate creators on their platform. Like how to get to create a reel. If you are the person who watches those education content from now Facebook, they see that you are one of them, you understand their concepts. So content creation, that is my view about it. And now monetization. Do that which you think is valuable, because value attracts money at the end of the day. So if the content that you are creating is bringing traction to your side, automatically you'll be paid. YouTube, you don't have to apply to be paid. They will see what you are doing based on the people who are subscribing, liking, watch hours and all that. And they will say this person is bringing a big audience to our platform. So this particular amount should go to him or her. So monetization, that's my perspective about it. Yes.
In making content, I also think you need to be passionate about what you're doing, because if you just do it for the money, then you're in trouble.
You are a lot much in trouble.
Yes. Brian, when it comes to the issue of monetization, looking at the different platforms that we have, how can people monetize those platforms? And what are the requirements?
All right. So different platforms will have different requirements. For instance, on YouTube, for you to qualify for monetization, you must have 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours. That now
per month or per what?
No, to begin, cumulatively, to begin, at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. All, you must have gotten 10 million on your short reels by 90 days. 10 million views on short reels by 90 days. That is on YouTube. On Facebook and Instagram, any content can be monetized, moving from videos, articles, and all that on that. But you must have gotten to a certain point, like the way Digital Coach is saying, they walk a journey with you until you qualify for monetization. Like, I'm happy he has qualified for monetization. I've not yet qualified for monetization on Facebook. That is to mean I still have a journey to walk until I get there. But looking at it, there are different ways we can monetize our content there. Like, there's something we call the PM strategy, where we have products, we have intellectual properties, we have events, and we have services. Under products, you can sell ebooks and articles. You doesn't have to have a big following for you to begin earning by ebooks and all that. Like, there is a budget I bought from a lady called Susan Wanchiko. She is an influencer on YouTube who does finance related content, and she has designed an Excel sheet that is for budgeting for her followers. So she is selling it at 500 shillings. So that is now monetizing your content. You teach us about personal finance management, then you've created for us an Excel sheet, a template that is for budgeting. So that is on products, ebooks, articles, and all those things, and you sell them. Even you go to Udemy and all those things, you can upload an ebook there, and then when people buy it, you get paid by it. So that is one way. Second way is in intellectual property, is the one that people resonate with so much, like influencer marketing. That is creating a brand around you. And not necessarily in entertainment, because if you ask a typical Kenyan who they think a content creator is, they will mention the entertainment guys. That is the one that is so popular, and we appreciate what those guys are doing. But it's more than that. Every industry, you can build yourself as a brand in every industry, Like the way now, the Digital Coach is here, not as an entertainer, but as one who has skills in the area of digital skills and in the area of digital revolution. That is the second one. The third one is on events, webinars, attending other people's event, and now when you're invited, you're paid because they have watched your content. Now, it doesn't matter the following you're having, but if someone follows you on 1 day or 2 days and they watch your content and they resonate with it, and they feel you have value, they call you to go and speak to some people they know who might need or might be interested in the content you're selling. That is now an event, and lastly now is on services like consultancy and all those things. So there are several ways of monetizing content apart from the platform specific ways of monetizing it. I think that's what I can comment on that.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Let us take a few questions from our viewers, and thank you very much, viewers, for writing to us. Remember, if you've not sent your question, please do it now. I start with the first question here. It says, "Hi, Faith Today. I'm loving the topic this morning. My question is, how do I know which social media platform is best for my business? Should I be on all of them or just a few?" Enoch.
Okay, thank you so much, Enoch. And I think the conversation of the social media platforms, we have had it severally here. And this has always been my take about it. There are social media platforms that are best during your consumption stages or your beginning stages. So if you want to create what we call brand visibility, we have platforms that are best for that. If you want to do marketing and create communities, we have other platforms that are best for it. So to begin with, for brand visibility and gaining that traction we are talking about, consider TikTok and Instagram. Those are the easiest to begin with. But make sure you spread your content across all platforms because each carry their own advantage. Yes.
Okay. Another question from John in CBD. The question is, how do you stay relevant in digital marketing with all these algorithm changes? Any tips for small businesses?
All tips for small businesses on how to remain relevant. Actually, one of the...
To beat the algorithm.
To beat the algorithm, because it's one of the biggest challenges. Today, algorithm will favor you. Tomorrow, it will not favor you. So I think one of them, the reason why the algorithm is changing on is because most of these platforms, they want to monetize them. They have become businesses more than social media. I think 1-2 years from now, we should stop calling them social media, because even WhatsApp has introduced ads. It's all about the business of these platforms. So they are promoting ads. So moving forward as a business, we need now to run the art of placing ads, because that's where we are. And TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and all those, and YouTube. You can't watch a video for 5 minutes or 10 minutes without them bringing an ad for you. Yeah, so the concept of placing ad is now is something you can't evade at this point. Now, number 2 is now building a distribution population, where you are the one who determines what they get, like email marketing. You gather emails together, so algorithm will never affect you at that point. A WhatsApp group, a Facebook group. So you try to build groups or other platforms that you are the one who dictates the kind of content that goes to them, and algorithm will not affect you. So I think for small businesses, once you interact with someone on social media and you have their contact, try to see, can I get their email, or can I add them to a WhatsApp group? So now I begin getting a platform that will allow me to be the one dictating who will see my content, because depending on algorithm is never sure.
Just to ask, how do you manipulate these algorithms?
How do you
Because I know some people have tried to manipulate them, and does it work?
And it works. You can actually beat it at its own game.
Okay.
And that is number 1, when you take your time to learn it. You cannot beat, even in a game of war. If you want to beat your opponent, you must first take time to study their tactics. So if you first learn the algorithm, then you understand that you have so many ways of beating it. Because once you realize that the algorithm favors mostly better quality content, maybe it's visual content, it's a video, and you realize that on Instagram it's more of aesthetics. So make sure that when you're posting on Instagram, you have a better quality video. And number 2 is things like keywords. If you realize that the algorithm on Facebook or on YouTube is highly depending on the keywords that you are using, maybe on your headlines, on your whatever we call the thumbnails, and the descriptions, make sure that those are the things that you capture very well. And number 2 is partnerships. That is actually what is most people are using today, because you realize that I have my own followers. I may have 5,000 followers, and you also have 5,000 followers, but you have your own followers who are not my followers. So what if when you are doing content, you are using, we are partnering, so you are leveraging on your followers and my followers, so that cumulatively you have 10,000 followers. So, and when I'm also doing the same, I'm also using your followers. So there, even if the algorithm had prepared to limit my content to only my 5,000, we have 10 now. If we are 3, we are 15, you see. So there are so many ways. If you just take your time to understand and learn the algorithm, you have so many ways you can.
So in simple terms, affecting or manipulating the algorithm is a skill you run.
Yes.
It's a skill. It's a skill.
Okay.
Certitude digital training.
Oh, it's a skill. Oh, okay.
Like it's so much governing.
Now you join the college.
Yes.
Okay, somebody from Lemuru Moses is saying, I'm curious, how do you monetize content if you're just starting and don't have a huge following yet? I think you've answered that.
Yeah, I think it's what Brian answered.
So basically the 1,000 for YouTube and all that.
Yes.
Catalina is asking, what's the best way to balance creating content and running a business? Sometimes it feels like it's too much to handle.
Wow, that is, I get that a lot from business people, because you realize running a business itself is not easy.
It's a problem, yeah.
We have so many operations that you have to be in so that your business can operate very well. Then here comes content creation.
Yes.
The other day I had posted a photo of a man wearing 7 capes. It's a business person to begin with, but on top of it is a graphic designer.
Yeah.
On top of it is a video editor.
Yeah.
On top of it is a social media manager.
Yeah.
And you realize that as a business person today, to thrive, you are needed to be so many things. Here's my concept. 1, do what you can. Don't turn your business now into a digital marketing agency.
You are not an agent.
You are not an agency. But if you realize that you are benefiting a lot from digital marketing, invest in digital marketing. Like at our school, Certitude Digital Training Center, we train so many digital marketers whose work is not to run any business, but for them they are digital marketing freelancers. So hire some of those people. They are not very expensive. You actually realize that they will save you, one, your time, and two, they are professional than you. So sometimes you don't have to be an expert in everything. If you are not good at finance, hire a finance expert. So the same way, if you are not able to do all those digital marketing things, just get an expert. And the good thing is you don't need to employ a full-time person there as an expert. Get a freelance digital marketer, and they do that for you.
Do the job for you.
Yes.
Joyas is asking, I've been posting consistently, but I'm not seeing much engagement. What's the secret of creating content that actually connects with people? I know you've answered part of it, but quickly just highlight.
From what we said last conversation, use the formula we said. Hook, value, CTA. Make sure your content, the first thing, if it's a video, you are grabbing the attention of your viewer. Grab those eyeballs. Number two, once you have our attention, give us value. So that is why we said after you have your hook, the next thing is a value. It can be an insight, it can be a how to do something, how to get 50,000 within 1 hour, whatever it is. Make sure that you incorporate value. Finally, have a clear call to action. So that the call to action is what brings engagement. Because if you just put content there that is playing, that is not giving us an incentive to take the next step, we may not engage. We may have loved your content, but you have not engaged us. So have a good, clear call to action. Maybe it can be even a question, what do you think? Then people will tell you what they think there. That is what is called engagement. And also responding to their comments.
Like today I'm telling people to subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe to our
and also
channel.
to support us. That's a call to action.
That's a call to action.
Thank you. Please do that.
Yes.
Another question, what are some common mistakes small businesses make when trying to market online?
When trying to market online, number one is it's obvious. Some assume that digital marketing is just another thing that you just keep trying. There are people who have expertise in this area, and you need to seek audience or benchmark either online or one-on-one to get started on how to do it. You don't have to go the wrong way all along. Stop and ask. Get to understand how to get along with it. So I think that's the best thing I can advise anyone who is beginning on this area of digital marketing.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Now, another question from James in Roysample. Thank you, James, for writing to us. The question is, do AI tools like ChatGPT help for freelancers and content creators? ChatGPT is a
very big conversation because freelancers now, we have tools for freelancing. From now the AI solutions to project management tools like Notion and the customer relations management tools. We have so many. So to answer James, AI helps freelancers a lot because some of these processes you may not be able to be there and to do everything from scheduling to creating some of this content,
writing scripts on ChatGPT. You can do that.
You use ChatGPT.
Getting even the right keywords.
Even
can help you presentations.
Yes, like we have one called Gamma. It will help you create a wonderful presentation.
PowerPoint slides.
Yes, PowerPoint slides. So we leverage so much on artificial intelligence. Even to mention whatever Brian was saying, that we have so many operations and businesses are trying to integrate now technology with the day-to-day activities. That is what we are calling automation. And we are using AI so much to do that. What we call generative AI, to answer clients when you are not there. Like today, if you text me and I'm not there to respond, WhatsApp will do that for me. That is artificial intelligence. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, another question coming, it's what's the difference between personal branding and business branding, and how do you make them work together?
Perfect, because today we are saying that business people, even though we have a small group, when the ones that are recommending the faceless approach, but today it's very difficult to differentiate the business from the owner, not unless it's a very, very big organization. But today people are resonating more with people. It's what we are calling the organic engagement. So the difference between personal and business branding is that as it is, one is personal, that is an individual, the other one is business. So as we market Certitude Digital Training Center, we have strategies that are specifically for Certitude Digital Training Center, which are completely different from the strategies we use for Digital Coach, Lewis Ndege. Because Digital Coach is a personal brand, Certitude Digital Training Center is a business brand. So we have strategies for the business, and we also have strategies for the person. And it is not easy to differentiate the two, but it is also possible because we also have businesses that don't depend in any way or resonate in any way with the founder or the owner or anyone.
That is true.
Yes.
Okay.
At the same time, a business brand can, or rather a personal brand can be built entirely on something that is not service selling or business selling. Okay. So there is personal branding that is inside business branding, and there is personal branding that is entirely you building yourself, and you are the one who is selling yourself like a preacher. When you're selling yourself as a preacher, now there is no business you're selling there, but it's now there is Safaricom, and then Peter Ndege, that you are selling Peter Ndege as a CEO of that Safaricom. So that's a personal brand that is infused inside a business brand, but it's a personal brand that keeps on building the man around his strength, passion, and values. Yes.
Now, as we come to close, one last question. Freelancing and content creation. Yeah? How do they interact? Is it realistic to do both? How do you balance them?
Yes, it's very realistic to do both. One is freelancing is about selling value, is about project based. So we want to, is a selling skill that is for freelancing. On the other side, content creation is about promotion, something you're promoting. You see, they are a bit different. So here there are clients you're interacting with, but content creation not necessarily. It's you building yourself or promoting something. But it's possible to do both. Actually, at the moment, we can't separate. Unless you're doing freelancing on the platforms we were talking about, like Fiverr and Upwork and Taranta and all those. When we're talking about now, freelancing is, I want clients to come to me. You can't avoid the conversation of content creation. They should be infused together, especially for longevity and sustainability. You have to build a brand around yourself so that now people will begin coming to you as clients. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. This has been quite engaging, and thank you very much for showing up and also engaging with the viewers. We've been discussing digital marketing, monetizing content, and also freelancing in the social era. And to help us with that was Lewis Ndege. You can give your parting shots to the viewer and also tell them about your college.
Wow. Once again, thank you so much for even engaging with us and asking questions and giving us your audience as always. So I work with Certitude Digital Training Center. There we say we empower young people, and we are revolutionizing this particular conversation for the essence of one, employability in the 21st century, and two, we must not be left behind in the digital conversation. So we are saying that any young person, may it be a Gen Z or even the other generations, you need to acquaint yourself with the skills, the digital skills, for the essence of complementing all other skills that you have in life. So welcome you at Certitude Digital Training Center, so that we can orient you, empower you, and mentor you in the digital landscape. And as my parting shot, Africa missed on the Industrial Revolution. We also missed on the agrarian revolution. We must not miss on the digital revolution. So see you at Certitude Digital Training Center, at Lewis Ndege. That is my name across all social media platforms. And our phone number is 011-2222-999. 011-2222-999. 22 For any question, for any engagement, reach us through that number, and we are going to be of help to you. See you later.
Thank you very much, Lewis. This has been very insightful.
Thank you, sir.
I would encourage the viewer to get in touch and just explore what the college has to offer.
Yes.
Brian, what are your parting shots?
The concept of digital revolution is not a narrative. It's not a passing wave. It's not something that is coming and going. It's a revolution. It's something that is here with us. You can't afford to be listening to it as a by the way. It's something that you need to stop, take your time and understand it. Because if you are left behind, you will be left behind forever. The people that never, they never came up well when we were transitioning from the industrial revolutions, from using machines and all those things to the digital revolutions. They are behind up to now. And the research has shown that most of the people that are wealthy now, among the top 10 wealthiest men in the world now, are the people that took advantage of the digital revolutions. Mention Elon Musk, mention Steve Jobs, and all those guys. Let's support the local champions in Kenya who are advocating for this conversation. And that is why Certitude Digital Training Center becomes your partner in this. We are here in Kenya, in our region, and we are advocating for this. Let's join hand, follow our socials, and ensure you tune in to every conversation. And I'm so happy to have been hosting the Kingdom Business Network Forum. And it was an amazing time. And thank you for you listening. And I can't hope to see you next. And also continue listening to us. I'm sure this forum has many, many other insightful things to share for you. Thank you so much and see you next time.
Thank you very much, Brian. It's been a pleasure having you today. And for the viewer, thank you very much for staying tuned up to this far. Remember to support us one way or another. Make sure you do something. Support us financially, support us with likes, support us with subscribing, whatever you're going to do, but make sure that today you do something so that we will be able to get in touch with you even another day next week and continue engaging with you. This has been Kingdom Business Network, and we are so much glad. Until next time, may God bless you very, very much and also bless your business. Thank you.
The world is going digital. Are you ready? At Certitude Digital Training Center, we equip young minds with real digital skills like content creation, digital marketing, graphics, web design, and many more, both in person and virtually. Whether you are a student, hustler, or a dreamer, it is your time to rise. Certitude Digital Training Center, where digital champions are made. Visit www.certitudedigital.org or call us on 011 2222 999. We are located at Wetavia, Juja, 2 kilometers opposite Mangu High School.